As you can see on the smile on my face, we know exactly what happened today. The New York Football Giants, for the first time since 2016, are an above 500 team after a great, fantastic, and exciting 21-20 victory today in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans, as the New York Giants pretty much were carried by their fifth-year running back, Saquon Barkley, who went out there and he pretty much carried this team to the victory. And it's a great feeling to be a New York Giants fan. Sure, there's still some things that we have to clean up. Sure, there's still things out there that the New York Giants need to improve on. But right now, if you're a New York Giants fan, how could you not be happy after the years of bad football that we've had to go through for over about 10 years? For the first time since 2016, the New York Giants are a above 500 team. And I want to give a good shout out right now. It looks like for the first time, this New York Giants team is coached really well. Because I thought this game today, the team was pretty disciplined. They had some good scheming out there, had some good plays, including that fantastic play by Brian Daboll where he faked the handoff, Daniel Jones did, faked the handoff to Saquon Barkley, and then reverse course for that key 4th and 1 down on the last drive for the New York Giants in that game. And of course, that key 2-point conversion, which I don't have a problem with it, because I really thought it showed guts, it showed chutzpah, and I really was behind Brian Daboll saying, you know what? I have confidence enough in my quarterback. I have confidence enough in my running back. I have confidence enough in my offense that they're going to go out there and they're going to be able to convert on this and give us the lead. And that's exactly what happened. Good job today by Daniel Jones. Has some rough moments, including that one play where after the New York Giants recovered that muffed punt by Jason Pinnock. Jason Pinnock was able to recover the fumble there and give the Giants good field position, but Daniel Jones made a very, very poor decision where he had Saquon Barkley in the corner of the end zone and he threw the ball way too inside and it ended up being picked off. So Daniel Jones, I thought, had an up and down game. He made some really good decisions. I thought that deep play, that 65-yard touchdown pass to Sterling Shepard on the left side of the field, he was scanned the side of the right side of the play, and they turned around the other way and threw that deep shot to Shepard, who ended up getting that big-time touchdown pass. And, of course, Saquon Barkley, who had that monster 68-yard run down the left sideline that pretty much set up the New York Giants for eventually a Saquon Barkley touchdown a little bit later. And I want to give kudos to that. I thought that Saquon Barkley was unbelievable today. It gave you vibes of the old Saquon Barkley when he went out there and he rushed for 164 rushes on 18 carries with a 9.1. Let's just hear this one more time. 9.1 rush per. That he had a 9.1 rush per carry. Rushing yards. That's incredible. He had a touchdown. Obviously, the long being that 68-yard run that he had. And coupled with that, he had 6 catches for 30 yards on that play. Saquon Barkley pretty much was the guy this entire game. 6 catches for 30 yards, 18 rushes, 164 yards, just 6 yards shy of 200 yards all-purpose. Saquon Barkley carried this offense here. And I also want to give credit to Sterling Shepard. After coming off an Achilles tear about 8 months ago, he went out there and he caught that bomb, that 64-yard touchdown for the New York Giants, and he pretty much set the tone over there, as well as he did some excellent blocking near the goal line and helped spring Saquon Barkley in some of those key runs. And I want to give credit to some of the offensive line. I know the offensive line had a little bit of a rough day. Jeffrey Simmons for the Titans pretty much had his way during the first half of this game. A little bit more quiet in the second half, but I mean, for some ways, Josh Azuda was a mixed bag. I thought his pass protection was a little so-so during the game. He played a little bit better in the second half. His first half wasn't as great, but I thought his run blocking was really good. I thought he sprung some holes. Shout out to my guy, Adam, Mac, Zion. They said it too. I thought that Joshua Azuda sprung some good plays from the guard position, including pulling out and springing one of those big-time runs for Saquon Barkley on that big 68-yard run for him. I thought Evan Neal, he had a so-so game. His pass protection was a little bit questionable. He got beaten on some of the plays by Bud Dupree, including Jeffrey Simmons. But that's going to happen. First game for him as a rookie. His run blocking was solid. I mean, I thought that Andrew Thomas played a pretty solid game. I thought the offensive line was a mixed bag overall. They got better towards the second half. First half, it was a little bit of a rough start for them. I thought the wide receiver position, I don't know what happened with Kadarius Toney. He was used in some mix-up packages today, including that one play where he made the smart decision when he was going to have the chance to maybe throw the ball downfield to a David Sills down the seam. Instead, he held the ball, and he was able to pick up some positive yardage, including also he had a nice little run over there by Kadarius Toney for about 23 yards. He had 23 yards rushing, and he didn't have any catches today. Kenny Galladay, $72 million, 2 catches for 22 yards. That's not good enough. You need him to be able to contribute a little bit more. Hopefully he picks it up. Unfortunate news what happened with Wan'Dale Robinson after his 1 catch he made for 5 yards. He unfortunately got banged up. So hopefully Robinson is not going to be out. He suffered a knee injury. So hopefully Robinson is not going to be out long term. Tate Crowder actually had a pretty solid game, including that really nice shoulder tackle on Derrick Henry, where he did a really good job against Derrick Henry. He had some plays where he messed up in coverage. Obviously, that one play where he got beat over the middle by Hilliard for that second touchdown that Justin Hilliard had. Tate Crowder, I thought, was better when it came to the run defense and his pass coverage, but it's going to be all, give or take. I thought Aaron Robinson, for the most part, had a pretty solid game. Darnay Holmes, I think, struggled a little bit in the pass coverage. He was the guy that was sort of picked on in that slot position, as Kyle Phillips, as well as at times Robert Woods picked on him a little bit. He also had a couple of holding calls. So Darnay Holmes had a little bit of a sluggish game. And I thought the pass rush for the most part was non-existent. There were some plays where they did have some good pressure, but the pass rush was at most times was not out there. So that's something the New York Giants have to clean up. Hopefully, when you get Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari either back for the Carolina game next Sunday or possibly for the game against Dallas the week after, that they're going to both be able to come back and add that pass rush element for the New York Giants going over. So I really enjoyed that. The New York Giants also were able to hold Derrick Henry to only, it feels like that Derrick Henry didn't have that big enough game. He had 21 rushes for 82 yards, but it felt like the quietest 82-yard game that Derrick Henry can have. So, I mean, I thought that was solid. Ryan Tannehill, for the most part, I thought he had a pretty good game. So, I mean, Tannehill had a decent game for the Titans, 20 for 33, 266 yards, 8.1 yards per pass. He had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a 106 rating overall. And Daniel Jones, for us, I mean, the completion and attempts, it's not that bad. 17 for 21. He had 188 yards, 9.0 average for pass. He had 2 touchdowns, one obviously to Shepard, one obviously to Chris Myrick on the last touchdown for the New York Giants before the 2-point conversion. He was getting harassed a lot during the first half, and as I said, I thought Daniel Jones made some very good decisions at times, including some of those run plays he had in the second half. He had some questionable plays too. Daniel Jones, I thought, was a mixed bag overall, just being fair. He actually had a pretty good average though, overall, 115.9. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that his average was pretty good. I thought Daniel Jones had a pretty solid game. Not great, but I thought he was solid overall. So hopefully he can pick up the momentum going forward. Saquon Barkley, like I said, 18 carries, 184 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had that big 2-point conversion on that shovel pass from Daniel Jones. Good play by the two of them right there. And, of course, Sterling Shepard led the team with 2 catches for 71 yards, including that 65-yard touchdown bomb that he had on 4 targets. Richie James felt like the biggest contributor for the wide receiver position. He had 5 catches for 59 yards, no touchdowns on 6 targets. Saquon Barkley, of course, 6 catches, 30 yards. And his long being 7 yards and over 7 targets. Kenny Galladay, 2 catches, 22 yards. 15 yards being his longest on 2 targets. Wan'Dale Robinson, before he suffered the knee injury, hopefully he's not going to be out long term. 1 catch for 5 yards, including 1 target. And Chris Myrick, of course, mostly there for the blocking. He had 1 catch for 1 yard, including that touchdown he had, and on 1 target. And I mean, some of the numbers defensively, Tate Crowder, he had 7 tackles, 4 solo, overall. Jihad Ward had 6 tackles, 5 solo for the New York Giants. Darnay Holmes and Adoree Jackson both had 6 tackles as well. Darnay Holmes had 5 solo. Adoree Jackson had 4 solo for them. O'Shane Ximenez, actually, he had a pretty decent game. 6 tackles overall, 3 solo for him. Leonard Williams, his pass rush, he had a little couple of pass rushes here and there, but he was mostly, bottled up pretty much the entire game. Like I said, the pass rush needs to step it up a little bit more in the second game, but you hope with Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau coming back, it's going to help and boost that pass rush. As well as Aaron Robinson. I think Aaron Robinson actually had a very solid game. He might have actually had the best game overall for the cornerbacks, which is saying something. I know he had some help with the safeties coming over by his side, help him out with certain coverage packages. So I thought Aaron Robinson actually had a good game too. But overall, I thought the New York Giants, sure they need to clean up some things, but at the same time, you have to be excited as a New York Football Giants fan. You have to. This team has been an under 500 team for the past 5 years, including starting out 0-5, 0-2, 0-3, 0-2, 0-5 for the past 5 years. This team has not sniffed above 500 since our last playoff appearance back in 2016. So right now, sure there's things you need to clean up, but as New York Giants fans, how the hell can you not be excited right now? Just being the fact that this team was gritty enough to go out there and make the gritty plays to pick up the win right here. So right now, congratulations to Brian Daboll. His scheming was very good at times. I love some of the play calls that he made. Good job by Daniel Jones, bouncing back after some rough moments, being part of the key plays right there. Saquon Barkley, the Giants rode the back of Saquon Barkley, and he delivered and took them and drove them to a win here big time. Sterling Shepard, coming back from the Achilles tear, comes back, has a big 65-yard touchdown, including some key blocks over by the end zone to spring Saquon Barkley. The offensive line was up and down for most of the game, but I thought the run blocking was good overall, helping out Saquon Barkley have some of those big games. Richie James played solid. I thought Aaron Robinson was good overall. And you got to build on this game right now going into next Sunday in the home opener for the New York Giants against the Carolina Panthers, who they lost a tough game today against the Cleveland Browns. So they're going to be looking forward to maybe getting some revenge, especially after what happened last year. But right now, the New York Giants, for the first time since 2016, we are above 500 team. And let's, New York Giants fans, let's not get too crazy. Let's not say we're going to be a playoff team. There's still some things that need to be cleaned up. But right now, enjoy the victory. Let's go into this next few days, clean up the mess, be happy, enjoy the Victory Monday, and let's see what we can get next week against Carolina. But right now, as Giants fans, let's just be happy. We're above 500, and let's see what we can get next week against Carolina. So that's just my wrap-up for the New York Football Giants. Big-time victory today, 21-20 over the Tennessee Titans in Nashville, behind the running back, the big-time running back for the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley, 18 rushes, 164 yards, including 6 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown, including that key 2-point conversion off the shovel pass from Daniel Jones. And the Giants pick up the victory today, 21-20. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your weekend. New York Giants fans, let's enjoy the Victory Monday. Let's enjoy the Victory Sunday. Let's be happy for the rest of this week right now until we get ready for the Panthers in week 2. Let's go, New York Football Giants, together blue. Let's go, enjoy the victory, and let's make the league known that we're not a pushover anymore, and we're slowly but surely letting the league know we're slowly, but we're coming back. Have a great night, everybody. Let's go, New York Football Giants. And let's all be excited. We're 1-0 and above 500. Big blue for y'all. Let's go.